I'm Amy Pearson. I'm a realtor with Properties. I am a local realtor with expertise in the downtown market as well as the western suburbs, specifically Naperville area. Today I'm going to give you my top 5 reasons to move to Naperville, Illinois. All right, here's my top 5. So my number 5 reason on why you should move to Naperville versus Chicago would be the traffic. The traffic can be quite congested in downtown Chicago area. If you want to go from the Loop area downtown, say you want to go to a Cubs game on the north side, it's not that far, maybe a few miles, 3-4 miles-ish. If there's a Cubs game, if it's during rush hour combined, oh my goodness, that can take you 45 minutes to an hour. So the traffic really can add a lot to your schedule. Another thing about the traffic, there also are a lot of bicycles in Chicago on the roads. There are bike lanes, so you also need to pay attention to not only the cars, as well as the bicycles when you're driving. So you're kind of always in defense mode, making sure you're not hitting one, anyone's gonna hit you. So that's my number 5 reason would be the traffic in Chicago. So my number 4 reason to move to Naperville would be parking. Parking can be pretty tricky in Chicago. I know people say, oh, it's hard to find a parking spot in downtown Naperville. Well, it's nothing compared to Chicago. In downtown Naperville, there are there's several large parking garages that are free. That's right, they are free parking garages to park in downtown Naperville, which I find super exciting because I lived in Chicago for 20 years and you always have to worry about meter parking. If you're going to a restaurant, you have to circle a few times to find a parking spot. Then you have to worry about, is it street sweeping day? You can get a ticket if you park on that side of the street. Is it a Cubs night game? Is it a night zone parking area? What neighborhood parking sticker do you need to have to park on that street? So you always need to worry about the parking situation in Chicago. Otherwise, the parking tickets can add up if you're parking without the correct sticker in that neighborhood. So that is number 4 for me. All right. So my number 3 reason to move to Naperville versus Chicago would be more space. You can always have more space. It's just great to have extra closets, extra place to put all your stuff in the basement. In Naperville, you would get, if you do a single family home, a really good sized yard with lots of grass. You get a good sized garage, sometimes 3-car garage you can find in Naperville. And a basement to store all of your items. Plenty of places to store your bicycle and all of your tools. No worries about where to store your stuff. In Chicago, if you had a single family home, you would have a backyard, but it would maybe be like a cement patio. You wouldn't really have that much green space. A lot of them do have rooftop patios, but you just wouldn't have that same outdoor grassy green space in the backyard. Your garage would be much smaller. It wouldn't have as much storage in the front as you would as a suburban garage. Another thing about living in the city is your garage would be on an alley. That's another thing to think about. You would have to back out into the alley. You have to worry about backing up into other people or garbage cans. Living in Naperville, you have more space. You just pull into your driveway. You don't have to worry about backing up. Another thing that's also trickier in the winter too, parking in an alley. I'll include another one, but that's a tip. Having an alley parking garage can be a challenge. You definitely get more space living in Naperville versus Chicago. A lot of people live in condos. I lived in a condo for a long time. They're great. You don't have as much storage in a condo in Chicago. You may or may not have a storage space. So sometimes your storage space can be a good size locker or room, or other times it can just be the size of literally a suitcase. I literally had a storage locker that was the size of a carry-on suitcase at one of my apartments that I lived in. That was kind of shocking, the storage space. So you have plenty of space to store all of your Costco food if you live in Naperville. Sometimes you don't have the luxury to store those bulk items sometimes if you have a Chicago place that you live in. So I would say my number 3 reason would be having more space would be to live in Naperville. All right, I will have number 2 up shortly. So my number 2 reason to move to Naperville versus Chicago would be that your money goes further in Naperville. So in Naperville, an average single family home in Naperville is $525,000 which this is about 2,800 square feet to 3,000 square feet. Probably about a 4-bedroom house, and you would have 2-car garage, possibly 3, and a good sized yard at that price point. And of course, you have a basement, but your square footage is not included in the basement, and lots of space to spread out. In Chicago, it depends on the neighborhood that you're looking at. If you're looking, say, in the Lincoln Park neighborhood, single-family homes start at $1.1 to $1.2 million. You don't get much of a backyard. You might have a cement patio, a rooftop on your garage, but you really don't have the grass, green space backyard as much as you do in the suburbs. Also, it's very rare in the city to have 4 bedrooms on one level, like on the second level. And the reason is because in Chicago, the average lots are 1/4 of an acre, and builders just can't fit, they usually can't fit the 4 bedrooms on one level, usually just 3. It's very rare to find 4 bedrooms on the second floor of a house. I've seen it only a few times. It's kind of rare. So Chicago condos, an average condo, if we're looking in the Gold Coast neighborhood, that's downtown area Gold Coast, you would get a 2-bed, 2-bath condo, average price $500,000, and you would get 1 parking spot. Parking spot may be sold separately though, which can be $20,000 to $40,000 additional. And the parking spot has its own property taxes on top of your condo property taxes. In Naperville, the average price for a 2-bedroom condo in Naperville is $228,000, and it's much more affordable, a 2-bedroom in the suburbs versus Chicago. So that is my 2 reason that you get more space for your dollar in Naperville. All right, my number 1 reason to move to Naperville, Illinois versus Chicago would be that Naperville is always ranked top nationally. That's right, nationally. So I grew up in Naperville, and every couple of years, Naperville is always getting ranked top place to live, top place to raise your children. So right now, niche.com has released its 2021 rankings of list of best places to live, and Naperville is ranked number 1 among 228 cities for the best cities to raise a family in America and best cities with best public schools in America. Naperville was also ranked 3rd in Niche's best cities to live in America. In 2020, best school districts in Illinois, according to niche.com, District 203, which is one of Naperville's school districts, is ranked number 7, and District 204 was ranked number 9. In 2019, Naperville was made Smart Assets top list of where millennials are purchasing their homes. It was ranked one of America's coolest suburbs by Apartment Therapy. So I hope my top 5 reason convinces you to consider buying a home in Naperville. Please give me a ring or send me an email if you need some help buying a place in Naperville or if you're thinking about selling. I'm Amy Pearson with App Properties.